and Tim Tony Stark Rifat having a chat, because I can't be asked to do anything technical, so we're going to delve into the enormous knowledge and mind of the semi-bold one over there, and give you people a glance behind the Illuminati window into the real world that's kept hidden from you. Why? Because we can. So the semi-bold one's going to talk to you now. I'm going to drink my beer.
Oh, sorry.
You.
I thought I had more hair than that.
You meant bold, not bald.
He's semi-bold, isn't he?
We're going to chat
Let's
about.
be honest, he's semi-bold.
We're going to chat about
Or you're going to chat about anything.
anything.
Yeah, I normally get into all the technical crap, so this is just free and easy, free-flowing talk.
Okay.
So everyone's interested in what's really going on behind the scenes. Why Katy Perry, who's neither British or Indian, which you Americans call Asian, we call Asians in our boomer language Chinese, but now millennials call them Asian. So. But anyway, why Katy Perry is the British Asian royal family's front woman for women who are being molested and put upon in India, which of course has upset the flower of the British establishment, the inimitable, the gorgeous, the super intelligent Priti Patel, who's the Home Secretary. So why has Katy Perry been promoted? Well, we've got so many wonderful, gorgeous, intelligent, pretty British Indian women who know about India, who can talk for it. And why, of course, is KP going out with a fucktard like Orlando Bloom, who's dyslexic and is subnormal IQ. Why has this all been promoted? Why has Prince Charles been meeting Katy Perry in India? Why is Katy Perry Hillary Clinton's spiritual daughter and sang at the Democrat convention? Why did Bloomberg, who wants to be the Democratic contender against the great, the wonderful, the humongously orange Donald Trump, why Bezos? Why did Bezos give shed loads of money to Perry and shed loads of money to Bloom? Why do all the billionaires want Perry and Bloom coming along? What's going on? Now, of course, to delve behind the scenes for my favourite paper, the Daily Mail, there is a little group of Illuminati who do their magic rituals, eyes wide shut rituals, where they have their orgies, which now are open knowledge. And since Madonna has been cast down and exiled to Portugal after her falling off the stage doing her ritual to the great Lord Lucifer at the Brit Awards, and is now in failing health with her toy boy Negro, the royal family needs a new Illuminati queen, and of course KP bloodline goes back to one of the robber baron railway magnates on the mummy side, and daddy's a nutcase preacher. So the royal family have decided that KP needs to replace Madonna because Angelina Jolie didn't fit the bill. They thought she might fit the bill, but she's a failed witch queen. She got ill. Okay, she did in Brad Pitt, but her health deteriorated badly. So in Illuminism, you need a queen witch. Madonna was the queen witch for decades, into her Kabbalism and Eyes Wide Shut parties and the rest. Now, of course, KP's been boosted forward, and Gridkeeper, aka Celestial Paladin, aka the Semi Bold One, is going to explain to you why a fucktard like Orlando Bloom, who's dyslexic and has a subnormal IQ, even though he was cute but now is aging badly, has been chosen to be the consort to the chosen new Illuminati Queen of the Royal Family. Speechless. Oh, where you go?
Well, I have some notes, fortunately.
So do I. I've got loads of notes.
Have you?
And I've got the Katy Perry t-shirt. Oh, she's got a good beating.
We should look at where Orlando Bloom started, really. Where he went. Where
No, I don't want to look in his mother's vagina, thank you.
Yeah, and he knew a certain person called Max Spiers. I could read a bit, start off reading a bit.
No, I don't read. Just
No?
eloquently state from your notes in a chat. It's
Yeah.
easy
Well,
going.
Max went to school with Orlando Bloom.
Exactly. What was the
Didn't he?
school?
You know? Do you remember what the
Angelic
school was?
Annie? King's whatever?
I could make something up, no, no.
It was King something.
King's Crown College.
Yeah.
See? He knows a lot.
I don't know that bit. Or do I?
Yeah, I remember we
Canterbury.
got it.
No,
Well,
Canterbury.
it was near Canterbury. And there's always a lot of talk about Canterbury Cathedral, which I was always interested in the cathedrals. And, unfortunately, never got to meet Max.
But you were now we're going to diverge. We're going to diverge. We're diverging. Warning, cameraman, we're diverging into the super soldier you did know about, who got jailed. You can talk to me. That's really interesting.
Oh, James.
We're diverting into James first.
Ah.
So we're going on a tangent, viewers. For the next 5 minutes or so, we're going to diverge. We're going tangentially,
Yeah, so James.
which he does know. So how did you meet him?
James, UFO conference.
What was his name?
James Casbolt.
And what was UFO conference? Explain.
This was Pro up in Blackpool.
Year?
2007 or 2006. One or the other.
Right.
Too important, really. But
Everything's important to
I
our
know.
viewers. Our
Yeah,
viewers
I
are
know.
important.
It was-
We're here
it
to
was
serve
a,
you.
It was a long time ago. And I remember being at the conference and everyone kept saying, "Oh, you've got to talk to this chap. You've got to talk to this chap." And James was there with a big folder with lots of information to do with super soldiers, the royal family, and he had CDs with audio that he'd talked about called "The Windsors and Satanism,"
Wow.
which was
This is interesting.
Yeah, and I remember he gave us the CD, and we listened to it on the way home, and it was quite shocking, really.
Well, can you give me a brief summary?
Yeah. Why are you laughing at me? Oh. And it was
She's
about...
got the Tim Tony Stark treatment.
It's very often.
Electrodes on every orifice. If it's good enough for the School of Americas, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. And it was about the Illuminati rituals.
Right, I'm interested now.
It was quite severe.
Continue. I want to know everything.
Yeah, it was on this CD. It was about what the rituals that the Windsors get up to.
Right. What do they get up to?
Killing young children and other things.
Clean filming around young children.
Killing,
Yes.
yes. Rituals.
So it's a bit worse than what allegedly Prince Andrew's got up to with Epstein.
Oh yeah, a lot worse. A lot worse.
Got you. What was his proof?
There was no real proof from James. It was just James talking on this CD.
So how did he know?
And it gained contacts. He claimed to have been in a program in an underground base many years ago.
In Britain or America?
In Britain. And his father was linked to MI6 with cocaine smuggling.
Which they do, yeah.
Yeah.
MI6 do loads of drugs, Mike. That's on record, look it up.
Yeah.
Like the CIA.
And he used to talk about how MI5 would make snuff films, and these films would get passed around within circles.
MI5?
Yeah.
Why not MI6?
And MI6, yeah. He really used to mention both. And they would use them to make videos of people in hotel rooms and things like that, and it's the blackmail thing.
Which links up with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Who was working for Mossad to blackmail all the great and the good, including Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And Adam Schiff, Pelosi, Democrats,
Exactly.
loonies.
Yeah.
Because Adam Schiff likes young boys.
Yeah.
Pelosi likes young girls.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But it's proven Adam Schiff swings that way, a bit like Schofield.
Oh, the Schofield saga. Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
He's on his toes. And yeah, so I sort of contacted James after that, and then drove down to St Ives to see him. And that was quite an interesting experience, and that's when we got into all the orb photography.
Oh, explain orbs. Our listeners might not be interested, or might not be,
The interdimensional beings
or
that
might not even know what orbs are. You're talking about orbs. What's an orb? Is that, you know,
supernatural spirit.
is that crystal ball or something?
No, the
Or, you know, I've got two orbs.
the orbs that people see when they take pictures on camera.
Oh, you mean energy spheres?
Energy spheres with the lights, different coloured lights with faces in.
Yeah, Colin Bloy talked a lot about that, and occultists call them thought forms.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Unified Magic videos, about them coming from the backside of the
Universe
Kabbalistic
B,
tree,
yeah.
Universe B,
Yeah.
and being a certain type of Universe B denizen, which they can find
Yeah.
on...
And James could see them, so he'd point and say there's one there, and I could take pictures of them
and find them.
just by thinking about the chip in the camera and find them, and they'd always appear.
Are they on your website?
Yeah, there's a couple of old videos
Of orbs?
with orbs in.
Excellent,
Yeah.
so check
Yeah.
Gridkeeper for the orbs.
There's a playlist with some of the orbs in, and you can see there's pictures where,
If people pay me, they can have pictures of my orbs.
well, I've got a friend standing in front of me and there's hundreds of orbs behind him forming another being that's looking over the top and things, we're always behind and things like that. And there's pictures of a scalar vortex coming out of the stone circle near Balmoral Castle. It's the only time I ever took a picture of one.
Ah?
I held the camera over my chest.
Which links up with torsion fields, all the
Torsion
stuff they
fields.
did in the
Yeah.
the Arnhenberger, the German super soldiers did in that
Yeah.
Czech deep mine
Yeah.
with spinning things.
And if you look at the light coming out of the stone circle, you can actually see the light spiraling.
Yeah. Torsion field, yeah.
That just blew my mind when I first saw it. I didn't really understand it at the time.
But it links up with the
more questions.
with the love spirals.
Yeah.
Clockwise, anti-clockwise, which we can talk about.
Yeah.
And what did you do with James Casbolt? And what was his relationship to Max Spear, who's then going to lead us to the Fucktard Bloom?
Yeah, they were good friends to begin with. James moved to America, and things didn't go too well, and him and Max fell out.
Over what?
It
Oh yeah, you told me because Max Spear was having sex with his wife.
Yes.
was, yeah.
Right.
There was things like that happening, and then there was denials, and it all got a bit confusing as to what was really.
And who was Who was
really
who was the
going.
wife of your mate? You told me about.
Hey, man.
I'm not sure if to mention this.
Yeah, we're going to mention it all. I want to give our viewers the whole picture.
Okay, on my YouTube channel, saying this bit.
Well, we can stick it on another channel then. It doesn't matter.
Threats if that
He's
already.
worried about his YouTube channel. So, what was her name?
Haley Mayer.
Haley Mayer.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
And what was
Mayer Supermarkets.
Mayer Supermarkets.
Father Hank Mayer.
And you
And
said
James used to say that her father, the company, all the money from the CIA, the laundered money, went through that company. And
doesn't matter.
a
You
lot-
can stick it on.
a lot of people never believed that was even real. But James, there was I can't remember, something like a Squire magazine. It was one of those types of magazines in America, and there was photos of James in there in a tuxedo going to not Sotheby's. What's the other auction thing? Sotheby's.
Oh yeah.
Quite well known. But anyway, there was a picture of him walking up the steps of Haley, very smart and everything, and it was
Not Hailey Bieber.
no. And there was a lot of sort of well-to-do people in there, Rothschilds, JP Morgan people, and they just wanted James for his bloodline, and they had a child together.
Because he was a super psychic, so they wanted super psychic children.
Yeah, and he had bloodlines from Europe, France.
What
etc.
bloodlines?
Can't remember.
Merovingian?
Yeah, that one was there. Yeah, but there was a few others he used to talk about, and had a baby, and he was basically left with no money and put in a hotel.
Why?
Didn't need him anymore.
So once he bred,
Yeah.
swish, motherfucker.
Swish, yeah. And I remember got a message from James. He claimed Max tried to shoot him. I don't know if that was real, but he sent me a picture of a car he was in with a broken window. He claimed the bullet bounced off him. I'm not sure if that really happened. And yeah, he was stuck in a hotel, and he came back to England. But he also went back to Fort Lauderdale. It wasn't Fort Meade, it might have been Fort Lauderdale.
It's in Florida.
And he spent some time training with the army. And there was a lot of hoo-ha about that, and people didn't believe that was real. And I went down to his house one day, and he showed me the book they gave him when he left the military. And there was James in his army uniform with the guns, quite a few pictures. And he said to me, when they had the child, they wanted a home birth. But he showed me the birth certificate. And the name, but it was an underground hospital under somewhere, and we worked out they must have if that was true, they would have rebuilt his flat exactly as he'd remembered it. So they thought it was, the child was born at home, but it wasn't. It was in an underground base somewhere.
A question:
Yeah.
would the US deep state be trying to breed super psychic, super soldiers
Yes.
with
it would.
their Illuminati super rich bloodlines?
Yes.
Would that be useful?
Yes, it would.
Oh,
One believes so. So,
then that might be the reason why a non-entity like him had a baby with one of the rich girls.
yeah. And he was told he'd never see his child again.
Yeah, because once he breeds the child, swish, motherfucker.
And that devastated James. It really did.
Oh.
It messed with his head big time.
Well, he's a paternal type guy.
Yeah, and he
Wants
sort
to.
of- yeah.
Was it a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Oh boy.
Dresden, I think. And he was told he'd never see the child again, so he lost his head
Continue with the story. This gets
and
interesting now.
attempted to blackmail Hayley. And he released a load of pictures on Facebook.
What type of pictures?
X-rated pictures.
Oh, interesting.
And
You
I
got any
tried-
copies?
I tried talking to him, why are you doing this? And he said, I've got no other option. I'm going to, and he wanted like something like $2 million. He said, if I get the $2 million, at least then I can try and see my son again. But that would have been difficult.
Now the story gets interesting.
Would have been really difficult. And I said to him, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble. And he looked at me and he said, this is what I need to do, don't worry about me. If it goes wrong, whatever happens, do not worry about me. It's what I want to do. And whatever the outcome is, will be what happens. So of course he got arrested, And he,
Where?
St Ives.
Oh, UK.
Yeah, in the UK. And it
Luckily, he was arrested in a democracy, so there's no problem.
It was all in the papers. It was in the Sun newspaper.
Was it?
Yeah. And he got there was several years,
How long?
8 or 10 years. Can't remember now.
But he has been released now. Tell me what happened when he got released.
Well, we wanted to pick him up.
We met see him, would they?
They've never let him. We kept trying to go down. Other people he didn't even really know got in to see him in prison.
Wasn't it us?
But us, no. Every excuse under the sun to stop us from going to see him. Every time we applied, rang up, going round in circles. Never got to visit him. I don't know if he ever got any messages from us or whatever. Don't know.
So you never saw him in prison?
No,
When was he released?
no. Last year.
And what happened?
Disappeared.
We wanted to pick him up, and it got known, and he's gone. He's gone somewhere no one knows. Taken away.
Did Santa Claus take him or
No,
fairies?
I was told he's gone to some safe house type of place.
Safe house?
Well, not quite a safe house, and another. I don't know basically where he is. I haven't got a fucking clue, mate.
Well, so someone's snatched him and disappeared.
He's gone somewhere, and no one knows where he is.
No one knows where he's
No
gone?
one knows where James is.
Oh.
No one knows.
Would this
where James
be
is,
useful to the American deep state that wants to breed super soldier babies with their top females?
Yeah, possibly.
So
Yeah.
there's no problems.
No.
Could that be?
It could be true. Yeah.
Could be.
It's all
Conspiracy
possible, isn't it?
theory.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Anyway, we've introduced this guy who knew Max Spiers. So it's
Yeah,
rather
James
than
knew Max.
Gridkeeper, aka Celestial Paladin, talking about Max Spiers with no connection. He actually knew Max Spiers' mate, who talked about Max Spiers and introduced Duncan to Max Spiers, even though Duncan has told me he's never met Max Spiers. But the other guy he talked
James.
about, who I've forgotten already, actually met Max Spiers and was having his the male woman serviced by Max Spiers.
She was
I
serviced
know.
by Kissinger too, wasn't she?
Sorry?
She was serviced by Kissinger when she was 15 as well.
Really? Oh, that's useful. Is she deaf, dumb and blind?
Hmm?
Is she deaf, dumb and blind?
No, she was mind controlled.
Ah, she's a mind... Gotcha. So we're getting to mind control. So the Illuminati have MK Ultra. He thought it stopped in the 50s, but in fact it's been developing since then to levels we don't know. So now we talk about Max Spear, who's directly connected to your guy, which then links us to the fucktard Blue.
The reason I always wanted to meet Max because he used to talk about Canterbury Cathedral.
Well, you got a fetish about cathedrals.
Oh yeah. Do like a good.
You want to stroke the
cathedral
spire?
once in a while. Yeah. And he always said he knew a lot of secrets about Canterbury and to do with Archon stuff and other things.
Archon for
and
you viewers means
Yeah.
in Greek authority.
Greek
That's
authority.
what, if you go into the interdimensional realms, you'll get archons coming up to you. Do you accept authority? So the whole thing goes to interdimensionals. Many levels. Think of this world being here, and the shamans have been going into the lower worlds, the underworld, which was the greater part of the knowledge, which is the interdimensionals. And the Illuminati have been consorting with interdimensionals with, for example, the Babylon ritual, which you can look up, which Crowley was into, and Jack Parsons, who set up the Jet Propulsion Lab, did in the desert. So consorting with interdimensionals is an intrinsic part of Illuminism, and you can't divorce Illuminati from being possessed or possessing, which is what black magicians like me do. We possess interdimensionals. Do what I wish, bitch. Interdimensional entities. And aliens, of course, that come down and they can phase out, blah, blah, blah. They can go into these interdimensional realms, dark energy matter realms. So rather than the occult, black magic, with interdimensionals being separate from science, it's just humans in the 21st century, Stone Age. They don't understand that there are different layers of the multiverse, and the aliens can phase in, phase out, and travel between interdimensional worlds. And Max Spiers was talking all about this, was he not?
Yeah, and there's a lot he never said, and that's why I always wanted to meet up with him
Gotcha.
to talk about that. But, he talked
But what
about-
did he say? Of
talked
interest to
about
our viewers.
MK Ultra,
Who was MK Ultra?
Orlando Bloom for starters.
How did Max Spiers know Orlando Bloom is going to marry Katy Perry,
Yeah.
who is now going to be the front woman for Prince Charles's Indian charity? This is getting interesting.
Which could have been Max. Max could have been in his place, possibly. I don't know. Or
Gotcha. How
could
did
it have ever gone the other way? And
how did they meet? Right from the start.
they went to private school together, Canterbury, at a
Gotcha.
very young age, I think.
Ah.
And was it when they were 13? It's Max's own words, saying
Yeah, got it all.
Orlando is his godfather and was with him when he was baptised at the age of 13 years old with the Archbishop of Canterbury
Was that
inside Canterbury Cathedral.
and haven't there been links between Prince Charles and pedo bishops, which links up with Max Spiers?
Yeah, yeah. And he was
Allegedly.
confirmed into the Church of England. That's what he says. And then he talked about multiple chambers below Canterbury Cathedral.
What do they do in these multiple chambers?
Ceremonies, rituals.
What sort of ceremonies? Catholic ceremonies?
No,
Bringing in the light?
SRA.
What does that mean?
Satanic ritual abuse.
What does
of
that mean?
Children.
What does that mean?
Well, when in the Unified Magic videos, we did that part.
Yeah,
with the
but we're
MI5
just doing
kids
general
and them,
conspiracy
and
viewers here. What does it mean?
Satanic abuse of children.
What does that? What, do you just slap round the face and go bitch, or you naughty boy?
No, they're half tortured to death, raped,
Oh,
killed, and it's I know.
so
about
it's
it
paedophile
because-
saw filming type ritual.
Yeah, because it happens a lot, and there's a whole
Why do they do that?
ring of it.
Does that
on
link
the-
up with MK Ultra and altars?
Yeah, and there's a whole ring of it on the south coast of England, which
Who's allegedly involved?
allegedly involved.
Allegedly, we say allegedly. According to
John.
Max Spiers, sorry.
Elton John.
Right.
Oh, this information didn't come from Max, but Pam St Clement was on this list. This is just something I was given that made a lot of sense to me, and it was very, very detailed documents.
Gotcha.
And the documents I have, name and shame, the whole thing on the south coast from one end to the other.
And who gave you this?
He won't want me to say, he really won't. And if I say it, he might never give me anything else because there's another level that I want of it.
Oh yeah, because he's got any more detailed document.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's the only reason I don't want
Got you. So we won't mention it, but he's the
If I
UFO
do,
guy.
I'll never see it again. And then, and it was the locations, you know, that struck me. Arundel Cathedral, Arundel Castle, the Howard family,
Well, are they allegedly paedophiles?
allegedly, and who was David Frost? So David Frost married into that family, and then you've got, if you're talking about Arundel Cathedral, that goes into the Baroness of Somerset thing that's just come out as well, with the cathedral nodes that
Oh, we'll talk about that in the next part.
we unravel.
Because I need a new beer.
Okay.